Good morning. It's Stacy. I'm sorry, we were going to try a new camera today and it just didn't quite like us this hour of the morning. So maybe I need to practice with the new camera before we do video. So today we are doing Walking in My Shoes like we do every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. This week, we're really going to talk about self-preservation, empowerment, self-love. Um, with loving my veteran, the thing about us is that we are raw and we're real. So today is a little tougher for me than most days. We need to talk about self-preservation, who we are. It is so easy in this world to get lost in who we are. My entire life, I think I've lived for somebody else. I grew up in the same town that my parents grew up in most of the time, and so my life, I was even Big Lucas's granddaughter. My granddaddy had an incredible reputation. Sorry, I'm going to change this just a little bit. Sorry. Had an incredible reputation in the town that we lived in. And everybody knew Lucas. So I was even Big Lucas's granddaughter. I was Linda and Lucas's daughter. I was Trey's sister. I became somebody's wife. I was David and Seth's mom. I was a paramedic. Um, that's who I've been. So this story is going to be quite personal about finding yourself and self-preservation. In January of this year, I was worked as a paramedic for a very busy service. Um, January 1st, at 6 p.m., I clocked out and went to Florida with my family and Carl, my veteran, my soulmate, my everything. And it was at Disney that we thought I had a cold. I mean, I was coughing, hacking, had a fever, felt like doo doo, but we were at Disney. Well, you're gonna do your thing. I was on Space Mountain. There's actually a picture that proves it. I had a pulmonary embolism on a roller coaster, and by the grace of God, I am still here, and I thank Him every day. It was that moment that forever changed who I had to become and what defined me. After a few trips to the doctor and a free visit to the urgent care center because I just didn't feel good. Um, they realized that I had a pleural effusion, which is fluid around the lung, collapsed lung, and fluid around my heart. And went to a pulmonologist. She initially said emergency CT scans, everything. They did confirm that they believed it was definitely two pulmonary embolisms that I had had at some point. Said it was probably asthma, emphysema, gave me the inhalers, nothing worked. So after a few months of visiting with her, um, she came back and said, "Look, I just need to do an autoimmune system. There's no reason for somebody as healthy as you, who worked like you did, to have this going on." Long story short, I ended up with an autoimmune disorder. I have lupus. It was a whole breath to take. Um, couldn't work due to COVID because they said that your immune system is low and we can't take a risk of you getting sick with respiratory issues. And I thought, okay, cool. This is just going to be a few weeks. And then it turned into months. Um, After some more tests at the rheumatologist and through my primary care provider, we realized that I had some liver issues. And on Friday, so I haven't done much over the weekend. Sorry, y'all. On Friday, the doctors at Mayo called and said, Stace, you have stage 4 cirrhosis of the liver. Um, it was tough to swallow. It was hard to swallow. You have portal hypertension, which we can't treat because your blood pressure is too low. And basically, her words were, "There's nothing we can do but give you some medicine and hope we slow things down." So, here I am thinking, I've been in this hamster wheel for 9 months, 9 months of not knowing anything, 9 months of crying because at some point my doctor filled out a piece of paper that said, disability is permanent. You won't never be back on an ambulance. And I'm thinking, but this is all I know. This is who I am. This is what defines me. Um, and it wasn't. So Friday evening when we got the final thing and the words, I still hear them, and I don't take them the way most people would. Is you have a terminal, and I didn't wallow in the self. Did I cry? Absolutely. Was I scared? Absolutely. Um, but I have a soulmate who is here 1,000% for me. And at that moment, I talked to him and we talked some. And I talked to my youngest son who said, Mom, you just need to live your best life. And so my best life is about me. It is about preserving myself. And since Carl and I met, he has always said, you have to make life about you. You have to take care of you first. Then it is us. Then it is home. You've got to find you. And that was tough. All my life, I had been something to somebody else. I'd let my job define me. I was very successful at my job. I came to a town that had a very competitive ambulance services going on. And for 11 years, I made my boss a ton of money and we became the most reputable ambulance service in the market. And I was good at it, but at what cost? That's who it was. That's who defined me. I worked 4 24-hour shifts a week, plus I probably ended up working more. I can remember being on vacations, and over half of my vacation was spent with a phone to my ear, fixing some crisis that went on, and I was 600 miles away, but I could fix it. I was on a vacation and my boss called and said, we're short ambulances. You need to come home. And I'm like, I'm 4 hours away. And they're like, I don't care. This is your job. And I'm like, hmm. And I let all of that define me for so long. I I sat here and I realized that all I was a paramedic. That's all I knew. If there was a short shift, I took it. If we were down, I did it. If there was an extra call, I ran it because I had this thing in my head that that's who I was. It isn't. I had to find me. And over these last 9 months, not being able to do what I had done for 20 years, there's a lot of soul searching and a lot of looking and a lot of finding. And it's not, that didn't define me. So I had to find me. I am no good. And I really do want to block Carl from these videos because I'm coming back out and saying things he's been saying to me for 9 months. And now he's like, you finally get it. I have to be good for me or I'm not good for anybody else. I have to find me. And so it's so easy when we're in this moment, whether you're taking care of or living with somebody with PTSD or you're not living with somebody with PTSD and you're just living your life, it is so easy to get caught up in things that don't define you. Your job doesn't define you. Being a parent doesn't define you. It's important, but it doesn't define you. It will never define you. Who are you? Who am I? For the first time in my entire life, the last 3 days, I feel like this massive weight has been lifted off of me. And I am finally going to live my best life for me. And when I live my best life for me, my best life will be the best life for my children. My best life will be the best life for my partner, for Carl. My best life is going to be the best life for the people I encounter because I'm giving the world the best of me, not the best paramedic, not the best parent, not the best daughter. Girl, if my mama was listening to this, she'd be typing all kinds of things about how many times I have failed her as a daughter. because I was not the best daughter, but I have to be the best me. And that's so hard to figure out that you have to be the best you. You're not your spouse's best anything if you're not the best you. Tough. When you find time for you, I don't know. We're busy. We lived a busy life. When I was in EMS, there's 168 hours in a week. I worked 120 hours a week. On average, I worked 110 hours a week, and there's 168. So I had 50 some hours a week that I wasn't working. And look, that was an EMS. That wasn't like I was working 5 days and sleeping like maybe most people go to work Monday through Friday and they're sleeping at. No, that was on a truck, 110 to 120 hours a week caring for somebody else. What happened? I didn't care for me. I let things go. Sorry, I got coffee. One thing they still let me know. I had to let me go because I was so busy taking care of everybody else. And it's tough. It's hard. It's eye opening when you have to sit back and you have to say, I have to take care of me. Right? You can't lose sense of who you are. I can remember working, and this is probably my favorite coffee cup ever. I'm not sure y'all can see it, but it's Biddy and Bose. And their hashtag is not broken. This is this amazing little coffee shop in Savannah. They got them all over everywhere now, where this mother created. She has two children with Down syndrome, and she created a coffee shop that is ran 100%. Well, I say 100%. It is ran by all special needs. The managers and the there's one normal, which I hate that word, functioning person there, but everybody else is special needs. And so we'd be in the middle of a really crappy day in downtown Savannah, and I'd go into Biddy and Bose to get coffee, and here are these amazing human beings with Down syndrome and some other things, and they're like, "Welcome to Biddy and Bose," and they're like, "Have a good day" when they get your coffee, and they're so happy, but they knew who they were. They were defined in their own happiness. They were great. They never lost themselves. They're never broken in who they are. So this mother turns what could be this tragedy and feels sorry for herself and her children into an empowering moment where she gives her children and people like her children this hand up. That's what we have to do with ourselves first. Find who you are. Take his hand up. Get up off of your wallowing tail. And yeah, we have a lot going on in our lives. Get up and move. Less than 2 months ago, I thought the way out was suicide. Less than 2 months ago, I thought the way out would have been to end my own life. It's amazing how you can think that on 1 minute. And then when you're faced with those words, illness, you all of a sudden decide you have something to live for. Suicide is such a permanent and temporary situation. I had written the letter. I walked in and found it laying on the table. It was a goodbye to my mom and my kids and him. Now, I'm not going out without a fight. I live my best life every minute of every day moving forward. And that's what you got to do. You have to take that minute and find yourself. Take all those weird definitions and those weird titles away. Like a better word, get naked. Find out who you are. You can't preserve you if you don't know who you are. Who are you? What makes you tick? What do you do in this world? What is your thing? But it's not your job titles. It's not the secretary at work or the human resource manager or the boss or the lady who makes the burgers. You're not, your role of definition is not being your husband's spouse or being your veteran's caregiver or being your kid's mother or being your kid's dad or being a sister or a child. Who are you? Who are you? I'm Stacy. It took me a long time to realize that. I'm Stacy. I love people. I have this deep, caring, nurturing self. That's who I am. I want to make the world a better place. I have needs. I want to be happy. I don't want to be sad anymore. I have a lot to give this world. I can stand up and say, this is who I am. Yeah, right, Shauna. Badass too. I can be, but that's who I am. That's who I am. When I realize that I am me first. And I know that sounds selfish. That's not selfish because you can't give the best of you to anybody if you don't know who the best of you is. Find it. And y'all are sitting here going, Stacy, you've lost your mind. I don't have time to find anything. I'm telling you, the minute you sit back and you find out who you are, you have time. My life became a trillion times easier after Friday night. My life became a million times easier after Friday night. You know why it became a million times easier after Friday night? Because I have an opportunity to live my best life. You know what? The truth is, the real truth is, we all have a terminal. We're all going to die eventually. We're all going to be faced with immortality in this life, in this world, eventually. I unfortunately had to have some doctor that we spent a fortune paying for to tell me that my life was eventually going to end. Is it going to end today? Nope. Unless some truck driver decides that, yeah, whatever. Is it going to end tomorrow? Nope. I don't know when that moment is. That moment's between me and God, and only He knows because He's not telling me till it happens. And I'm not good at that, but that's what I'm going to work with. But until then, I got to live for every day. So do you. But you got to live for you first, or else you're just lost. You're lost in who you are. How can you be that amazing strength if you don't know who you are? Because you're pretty important. You're very important. You have a message. You have something and a purpose inside of you. You gotta find it. Get naked. Get rid of all the baggage. Because after you get naked and you get rid of all the baggage, and I'm not talking about physically divorcing people and throwing your children out on the street today. I'm talking about clean out your soul. Figure out who you are today. Figure out what's important to you today. Find you. I journal. That's it. I journal. And I don't care who reads it. It's my feelings. I used to like journal and hide it under places where nobody could read it. You want to figure out who I am? Read my journal. It's personal, it's raw, and it's real. You don't like personal, raw, and real? Then I suggest you don't read my journal because that's who I am. When you make me mad, I'm going to write about it. When you make me happy, I'm going to write about it. But I had to find me. Me was way more important. Me was tough. Me was hard. But me, finding me was liberating. Do I have a purpose? Yes, I do. Do I know what my purpose is? Absolutely. It is crystal clear. My purpose is to share my story so that other people have a story to tell. I don't couch Friday night after the tears. And mind you, I will tell you, calling your mother to tell your mother that you have a terminal illness is probably the hardest thing you will ever do. No mother ever wants to hear the there on that couch after the tears and after the release and the explosion. And I love Carl. I love him with every bits of my being. Because after I walked out and sat on the front porch and breathed and cried some more, I came in and I exploded, just exploded. And he just sat there and looked at me. When I was done, he says, "I love you." And I'm like, "I love you." And that was the most amazing words I ever heard. And then I sit there and I look at pictures in my living room. One is of my granddaddy who had cancer, and I know I've told this story. When my dad was 11 and my granddaddy died in his 80s. Okay, so let's just go there. Um, but that man lived every day like it was. My dad was diagnosed with mesothelioma, which is terminal. My dad lived every like it was his last. The week before he died, we were out in Key West. I was swimming with the dolphins. My dad walked down Mallory Square every day. And that needs to be where we go. At the end of the day, can you sit back and say, I live today like it was the very last day of the rest of my life? I did today like it was the last day of the rest of my life. This is my day to make my mark on this world. This is my day to make this world a better place. This is my day to define who I am. This is my day. Every single day, live your life. Am I going to cry along this journey? Absolutely. I'm going to feel for the people that watch this unfold? Absolutely. Am I going to wallow in self pity? Absolutely not. Today is the first day of the rest of my life, but today, only God knows, maybe the last day. I'm going to make my mark. I'm living my best life. Find you, preserve you. Because if you can't preserve you, you can't help another soul get through your day. You can't uplift another human being if you can't find yourself first. You can't be the great mother if you're not good first. You can't be the understanding, caring, loving spouse if you're not good first. I read so many posts and get so many messages from people who say, I'm done. I hate him. I'm tired. We're all tired at times. I dislike a lot of things that Carl does. He dislikes a lot of things that I do. How he is still with me when after all this time, I finally go to him this morning and I'm reading part of what I wrote in my journal to him, and he said, I've been telling you that for months. And he has. But my hard head didn't listen. You gotta find you because the truth is, how do you know you're not happy in that relationship if you're not happy with you first? You will never be happy in any relationship. You will never be happy at any job. You will never be happy at anything you do if you don't find you and become happy in you first. I know that might sound greedy, but it's not. The reality is you can give more. You can do more when you are happy with you first. That's the way it works. And when you find that you're happy with you, what you have to give this world, find you, preserve you, empower yourself, live your absolute best life from this moment forward. That's what we do. That's who we are. I may not be a paramedic on an ambulance anymore. I may not be going to that 911 call to save a life anymore. I may not be there to hold somebody's hand when their family member is dying anymore. But you know what I am? I am here. I am sitting here at my desk with this world amount of paper. You know why? Because I have a purpose. Because loving my veteran is my purpose. But loving me first only helps me love my veteran more. And it is my job, my mission, my faith that doesn't define me anymore, mind you, is to empower others because I'm not going to be here forever. You're not going to be here forever. Nobody is going to be here forever. But when we teach empowerment to others and they teach it to others, and we go forward with that mindset, we become a strong group of warriors who empower each other and who support each other. Hell, the world has gone to hell in a handbasket. To hell in a handbasket. But you know why? Because we stop uplifting each other, because we stopped empowering each other, because we stopped believing in ourselves first. Me, all me. And that to me sounded selfish. Then I realized it wasn't. Because without me being me, I can't give anybody else. And the me that I am inside is a giving, caring, loving person. But I had to find me first because I'm stronger than I think. And I had to find me first. And that's the only way that I can do this. And that's what you can do. Find you. Get naked in yourself. Get rid of all the titles. Get rid of all the things. Find you. You. Embrace you. Know that you matter. And you may not matter to anybody else, but today matter to yourself. That was tough. But I assure you one thing. Never be another day that I want to take my own life. There will never be another day that I want to do that. Because in the darkness, there is always hope. And that's what we're here to give you. That's what other groups that are on this mission, this journey with us are here to do. We're here to uplift, empower, and help each other. That's what we're here for. Find you, preserve you, have a great day. And remember, today, live your best life. That's what you can do for the rest of this world, for yourself, and for everybody else. I have a ton to do today. I'm so uplifted, so inspired, so motivated. We will have the new website up today. Um, I am sorry I did not do much this weekend. I literally took a Stacy weekend. And it is okay to do that. Okay to take a weekend for you, a moment for you. It is okay. And God love Carl. He ate frozen some meat thingy for dinner last night, but that was okay because we lived our best life. So do that. Again, go visit our amazing friends at Behind the Service. I cannot wait for Wednesday. Can we just like have coffee and collaborate every day? Because I love that. And we'll do that at 10 o'clock on Wednesdays. We'll make sure we share that link as well. Um, Jeremy has sent me the videos for him for the whole new thing that he's working on that will be on our website and our Facebook pages. It's Dust Off. um, it is from the veterans perspective, and it is to help uplift veterans so that they too can live their best life. Um, Walking in my shoes is obviously where we're at. There will be much more blogging on that where we can go a little more in depth. We are always here for you. Message us. I've been a little slow getting back to this weekend. Sorry. Um, Let's Talk is on Thursday nights. Amazing, amazing, amazing conversation that we had on Thursday nights. There's so much more coming up, so much more in store. Have a blessed day, and I will see you tomorrow.